Shots. So today we're going to be talking about Holochain. We're going to go over what the community's been saying, some negative things, a little bit about it, and then we're also going to be going over the big news that's coming out tomorrow for Holochain. But before we get into it, if you enjoy this video, please smash that like button and feel free to subscribe to stay updated with my videos. So we're going to get into these indicators a little bit later. So the first thing we're going to start with is just by looking at the graph, and I kind of want to zoom out and just show you how great this graph has been looking. Okay, this chart, I mean. So if you kind of look at the overall, right, the overall has been looking like, it's been looking like that, and then it's been going up and then doing that. Okay, now it's kind of going back down. Okay, so the graph has been looking beautiful, and so if we take a look at it, right, this blue line is the 20-day EMA, and this white line is the 50-day EMA. Okay, and as you can see, right, the overall trajectory, the upwards movement, the bullish movement, right, that's gone up 1,000%. And here, I'll show you right now, it's gone up 1,000%. So congratulations if you've been holding this coin. The overall trajectory has been maintaining this 20-day EMA. Okay, it's been maintaining it right there, right at this area. And then normally when we reach the top, right, it always kind of comes back down and tests the 20-day EMA. Okay, so that's something we're going to take a look at. And then another thing, some things we're going to be taking a look at as well is the support and resistance lines, right? So that's the weekly. This thick blue line is the weekly, and then the purple line is the daily levels, and then the 4-hour is the red lines. Okay, so the good news, right, if we look at the daily, the good news is that, okay, so we made a high, right, and then we came back down, and now we're kind of testing this 20-day EMA, right, and then hopefully, because we're in a bull cycle, and Bitcoin has been rising recently, which kind of has made a lot of altcoins static, and some red, right, some smaller altcoins have been a little bloody, but the good news is that we're back to the 20-day EMA, right, and if we can maintain this for a little bit longer, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 days, okay, then there's a good chance that we can go back up and test that all-time high. Okay, so I think that's the good news. The good news is, okay, we made the correction, right, and then we're hoping that this is going to be the end of it, the end of this minor correction. Okay, and then obviously there's going to be a little bit more accumulation, in my opinion, holding that 20-day EMA. Hopefully, right, on the daily we hold that, and then we'll be able to skyrocket afterwards. Okay, so that's kind of the good news. The good news is, okay, we should be done with the correction, hopefully, if we can maintain the 20-day EMA like we have all along. Okay, now if it crosses the 20-day EMA, there's a chance that it could go to the 50-day EMA. Okay, so now let's kind of zoom in and see what's going on. So as you can see, right, I mean, this is pretty obvious. I don't even think I should point it out, but that's a low right there, and then a higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, right? That was a trajectory, in that little bull run, right? And then that's a low right there, and then a lower low, okay, and then a lower low, okay. So that's kind of been the trajectory over the past few days, from what is that, 4th, 5th, yeah. So over the last like 6 or 7 days, okay, it's been a lower low trajectory, which is that's a correction, right? And if we look, it's corrected around 40% right now, so that's what it's been looking like. Okay, and the kind of the reason I kind of wanted to talk about it, right, and this is kind of like a minor thing, and we're going to look at indicators later, is that I feel like there's been a little bit of a reversal, okay, when we kind of look at it, because this was a low right there, right, and then there's a lower low, and then a lower low, but then there's been a higher low. Okay, so there's kind of been a trend reversal. Okay, now the bad news about this situation is that under the 4-hour, the 20-day and the 50-day EMA crossed. Okay, and that's a pretty bearish sign. Okay, so they crossed. So, but the good news is that if that's a low right there, right, and it's looking like it's going to be a low because it's a green candle after it, that's kind of like a trend reversal, right? So yeah, so let's take a look at the daily as well. And the daily, that still holds. If that's a green daily candle, it's kind of kind of be a trend reversal. Now, I do think that you know, a lot of people use the word consolidation. I use accumulation. I do think that we're going to be accumulating a little bit longer. I don't think, like, even if it holds this, right, even if it holds this mini trend line that we drew, right, I don't think it's going to go straight up, okay? I think there's definitely, because of such a bull run it had, and if you look at other graphs, they all look pretty similar, right? I'm sorry, not graph, chart. But I think there's going to be a little bit of a accumulation period right here. Maybe maintaining that the purple is a daily level of resistance, but maybe bouncing off of that, you know, and staying between these two levels, right? But then as long as we're making slowly higher lows, okay, that's going to look pretty good. That's going to mean that, you know, we might be accumulating over the next few days. You know, it even might come up here or even make a new line like around right there, okay? But I think we're still due for a little bit of accumulation. So now let's kind of take a look at what the other indicators are telling us. Okay, so we're gonna go on the daily here, and then we're gonna look at the other indicators. And these other indicators. So this is the Stochastic Rsi, and then this is the MACD. So the RSI basically tells us when something is overbought and oversold. Okay, so let's kind of take a look at. Let me go on my thing. Okay, perfect. So as you can see, and this is on the daily, right? And as you can see, like right there, right, it was overbought, which is the reason it's coming down, right? So the RSI is telling us we're kind of in the oversold region, right? So the two good news is that you know, there's a trend reversal, and then the RSI is telling us that we're in the oversold region, right? And over the next few days, we should see a reversal with the RSI and kind of come up, right? Which I think will likely come up over here, and then maybe accumulate in that level, okay? Like I mentioned earlier. So I think that that's a real possibility. That's what the RSI is telling us, and then there's also the trend reversal. Okay, now let's look at what the MACD is telling us. So the MACD basically tells us, like, when these two lines cross right there, that was a bearish sign, right? And then when they cross down here, that's a pretty bullish sign. Okay, so when they crossed over here, that's when we made the 40% correction. Okay, and then we came back down. Now, if we kind of look at this closely, we can see that the lines are kind of, you know, consolidating in this level. Okay, kind of just been, you know, going straight, you know, keep crossing left and right, you know, small red waves, green waves, right? But the overall, I feel like the overall trajectory of when this happens is that it's eventually going to go up, okay? So that's what the MACD's kind of been telling us. You know, we're kind of in the bottom region, you know, coins go up and down. So when we're in the bottom region, the only way we can go is up, right? Well, we don't know if we're at the true bottom yet, right? But over long term, like 1 or 2 weeks, we can't stay in the bottom region for too long, right? So that should go up as well. Now, if we look at the daily, take a look at how crazy this looks, right? So this is it's good to look at every piece of data. So the daily MACD, right? The lines crossed here, right? So that's kind of crazy, because if we go just based off the daily MACD, you know, this is a big sell signal. Okay, so that's just something to keep in mind. Because there isn't enough data, I would trust the 4-hour MACD more a little bit. Just because I feel like there's not enough data with the daily MACD. So that's what this is telling us, and then this is also telling us that we're reaching the oversold region. Let's take a look at the 4-hour. So yeah, we have we can wait a little longer, see what happens, and then when we come down into the oversold region, you know, I'm gonna be picking some up. I think that you know, with this coin, if you pick it up right now, just because we had a very big bull run recently, I think that it's going to take, you know, 5-6 days or a week or two before it makes another run again. But I'm patient, you know, and I think that this is hopefully, because of the trend reversal and the RSI and stuff, that could be the bottom. Now, another possibility, right? We got to look at every possibility. Another possibility is that we could, right? I mean, if Bitcoin keeps rallying and, you know, altcoins keep bleeding, we could come back down to the 50-day EMA. Okay, so that's a real possibility as well, right? But keep in mind, we're not going to come down to here, right? Because I think, like, we're going to slowly come down, right? We're not going to just drop significantly to the 50-day, and, you know, this is going to come up like right here, and then we might come test it like right here. Okay, so I think that's a real possibility as well. But I'm willing to wait because I actually did some research on Holochain and I really like it. So let's kind of see what the community's been talking about. And people are thinking in order for Holochain to be successful, the marketing needs some serious work. People are saying other coins have been marketing really well, and like they have, like for example, Ecomi has been, the marketing has been insanely good in my opinion, and the community's kind of talking 27 upvotes. It's the top for today, but which is not too much, but I think I like how I want their voice to be heard, right? So they're saying that we need more marketing. Okay, so whether you agree with that or not, that's up to you. I'm just sharing what they're saying. And then the good news I wanted to get into that is coming out tomorrow is that they're doing a Indo DAX listing. Okay, so it will be added to the Indo DAX marketplace. Trading starts on Thursday, April 15th, right? 40 votes, so it's not on too many people's radars. And then I want to also kind of take a look at another thing. Take a look at this volume level, right? It's kind of been dropping a little bit. As you can see, the volume was insanely high when we made this little bull run, but it's been steadily a little bit decreasing. Okay, so yeah, I think again, like I want to be honest and just be transparent with you guys, and I just think it's gonna accumulate, 3, 4, 5 more days, go down 10%, go up 10% before it makes a run again. Okay, so that's what I think is going to happen. That's what the data is telling us, and then yeah, so that's all I kind of wanted to talk about. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe, join the Telegram. Thank you guys. Have a good one.